First, I'd like to acknowledge the Mayor and Councillors of Portland. Thank you for the opportunity of saying a few words to you about unreinforced masonry buildings. I'd really like to congratulate Portland for taking on this challenge. I really wish it was a challenge we'd taken on in Christchurch before we were struck with an earthquake on the 22nd of February 2011. On that day, 39 people died because they either ran out of unreinforced masonry buildings and were killed in the rubble, or they were killed as a result of just being a passerby and the building collapsed on them, or they were in a bus. And look, what happened on that day just depended on where you were. 20 seconds, that's all it took for so many buildings to collapse. And for so many people, the stories are heartbreaking. The man who died in his car, he moved it forward so a woman with a child could park her car. He moved in front of a building that collapsed and destroyed his car and took his life. And then there was Anne Brower. She was the one woman who survived on a bus carrying 13 passengers, where the entire facade of a building collapsed on the bus and killed everyone on that bus. 12 people died that day. Anne Brower has become a champion for changing our laws and making sure that we address unreinforced masonry buildings as a matter of urgency. And her voice has been listened to. She undertook some study, she undertook some research to find out how much it cost to have herself treated by our public health system. You know, the building next to the one that fell on her bus, that building owner had tied back the facade of their unreinforced masonry building after the September earthquake, and they spent $180,000. What Anne discovered, to her horror, was that the cost of repairing her leg, let alone all the human damage, the cost of just repairing her leg was just over $500,000. So for the sake of $180,000, the lives of the people in the bus that was travelling behind were saved. And that's what people need to take into account. And what I'm saying is that we continue to live with the risk that was posed by these buildings, and people died when that risk materialised. 39 people died that day, when in fact some action taken in advance could have saved their lives. Please don't wait for that to happen, Portland.